All right, let's get to work on building your plan. If you haven't used this piece of software that you see on the screen before, it's called Notion. And the way to make this that you see your own editable copy is by going up here and clicking on Duplicate. And it will ask you to log in through Google or through Apple. Once you do that, you'll have a copy of the document that you can then edit. And you can type your answers into each of the sections that are marked in yellow. So you want to do that first. So we're going to go through each of the 4 separate sections that we talked about and make sure that we walk away with a plan of action, because that is the most important part, right? We can talk about this stuff all day, but until we do something, nothing will happen. The first part is projecting your future. We want to describe your current standing in your industry. So think about where you are right now. What is your expertise? And then what achievements do you have? And it's okay if you say, well, I can't really think of anything right now, but let's think about specifically what objectively you know well that other people would benefit from knowing. Okay, because you have a lot of stuff up there, we just need to articulate it sometimes. Number 2 is visualize the success, where you see yourself in 1 year or 5 years or even 10 years as an industry expert. The easiest way I found to think about this is project yourself out 12 months from now and go, how would it feel if I had this accomplished? How would it make me feel as an individual, as a business person, from a confident standpoint? Number 3, identify what being an industry expert means to you. So how do you see yourself interacting with people? Do you see yourself walking into a room and having people recognize you? Or would you feel comfortable bringing up the article that you wrote or the speech that you gave? All of these things will give you more opportunities, and I want you to envision those now. And then lastly, think about your emotions associated with this future success. And this is where we get past the idea of this is a novelty, right? This is something that maybe I'll try, maybe I'll do for a little bit and then I'll stop. This is that touchstone, so we can be sure that when we think about how would it feel, how would I really feel if I accomplish these things, what would that then drive me to do? And this will, again, keep you motivated to keep going down that road. Number 2, identify your audience. Who is your target audience? Define them in detail. Say exactly who they are. You can use personas, like it is a 47-year-old woman who lives in this part of the country and attends this conference, or whatever it might be. Think about those specific people that you would like to focus on. Number 2, list all the organizations that currently have the attention of your target audience. And this may require pausing this for a little bit and thinking about, all right, who is in charge, and starting Google searches for a very specific niche industry publication or conference or whatever it might be that has the attention of those people that you're targeting. And then number 3, step 3, is for each organization, identify why they're popular. We want to figure out, based on their popularity, who in rank order, which is number 4, figure out who is going to be most likely to pay you the greatest dividends if you were to become known within that organization. Okay, so we want to find the organizations that control that audience, have the attention of that audience, and figure out who's the top one, who is the most important. Number 3, we want to offer value to editors. So think about the organizations that we identified. Find that online editor's email. Like I mentioned, this would be a great opportunity to list out multiple online editors. And then think about the key takeaways from your expertise that we identified in section 1. Which unique educational opportunities or educational perspectives can you offer their audience? And this is maybe going to require a little time, but this is really something that you can differentiate from. And here's a quick hack for this, is if you go out to the publication that's online, look for a lack of content about a specific topic that you feel really well versed in. So like I said in the earlier, like I give in the earlier example, when it comes to section 3, I said that I found that there was a lack of content about ROI, return on investment, for marketing directors within that specific industry publication. And they thought that that was a good opportunity to educate them on something that they really want to know about. And then number 3, draft a concise, enticing email. So again, back to section 3, I actually listed the email that I sent Kimberly Rice if you want to use that as a template. And then number 4, send it. And if you don't hear back, send another one to another online editor, and then another one, and another one. That's where we take these rank orders, right, of these organizations, send the first one to the first then the next one to the second, next one to the third, and eventually you'll hear back from somebody who will accept your offer. And then lastly, from article to stage. Now, this is where we identify which of those article topics that you're to come up with that would make a compelling conference presentation. What's kind of cool about this process is oftentimes if you think about, well, maybe this wouldn't be an ideal article, this would be an ideal speech, we can back into what an article looks like. So one will feed the other. This article becomes a good speech, this speech becomes a good article. And then we want to outline how we would adapt the articles that you have in mind into a speech. So include your talking points, audience engagement elements, whatever it might be that would be compelling for you, something that you get excited about presenting to people. Number 3, draft an email to a conference organizer proposing your presentation idea, and then send that email to a conference organizer, and then another and another. Now you may look at section 4 and section 3, where section 3 is the article, section 4 is the speech, and you may want to reverse those. And that's something I've done in the past as well. If you just start to reach out to organizations and go, hey, I'd love to educate your organization about this. This works really well locally, by the way, because everybody needs presenters at their meetings that they have every month or every week or whatever it might be. And then once you have that speaking gig, then you build the article. Say, hey, I know I have this speech coming up. I'd love to get this article in front of the people that will be attending, or as a post-speech newsletter that you can maybe educate their audience in as well. If you do these things, if you identify exactly who this organization is, who's in charge there, and start to make these compelling offers to objectively educate their audience, you will get many, many opportunities to do these things that we've talked about here, bolstering your reputation, giving you more and more of a chance to do the things that you want to accomplish based on building out those people who know you. I wish you luck. I very much look forward to hearing how this content works for you, how these strategies work for you, and I wish you, again, luck in the future. Thanks.